Didact has to be stopped. If you won't do that, I will.
Alright, I'm checking my mic to see if everything is okay. Can you all hear me? If so, put an emoji in the chat. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. checking my mic again. 1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 1, 2. That sounds pretty good. Okay. Oh, crud. 1 second. Stupid piece of crud. There we go. Whoa, why do I look weird. What the heck's going on? I look like a ghost or something. Not enough. Oh, is it just me or do I look different than when I normally do on stream? You can't hear me? 1 second, let me see how this sounds. This is actually really weird because I'm not using this mic. This mic it's plugged in, but I'm not using it. I'm using my Logitech webcam built-in microphone thing. I don't know. I don't know. I've never had this happen before to where it actually, you know, worked this good. So yay! Because every time, as you all know, I had to switch from my big PC to my laptop. I did that earlier today, and it actually didn't take me that long to do. But I had to get all the settings for it. Had to put in my stream key. I put in all the little bells and whistles I have on here, like the pop-ups for when I get a host or a follow. I put in the backgrounds that I have on there, and everything. So that was kind of hard. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like it wasn't hard. It was just time consuming. So, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's why. But anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. That's why the mic is probably messed up because when I moved my streaming setup from the basement up to the second floor, I had to unplug the mic, obviously. And when I put it back in, soon after that, for some reason, the mic was just being weird. It wouldn't go. It would be broadcasting my voice, but it'd be ridiculously low, as it just was. So it's kind of weird. I feel weird not having a mic here. It's kind of I like this though. You know, because I'm used to having a mic like right here at my face. So anyway, kind of like it. Anyway, hey, what's up, everybody? I am KPKC99, and tonight I'm gonna be, hopefully, if everything works out good, I will be starting Nancy Drew Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I didn't think about it. I almost said Trail of the Twister. No, see, her, and I just got done streaming that game. So let me get, I have no idea what my game's gonna do as soon as I open this up, so I'm gonna go and get the game up then like Alt Tab it. So y'all gonna hear it for a second. But now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna need to. I need to watch. I need to watch and see what it does here because I have no idea what's gonna happen. So let's hope this works. Because if you all remember what happened last time, last time this happened, that's what happened. Crud. Alright. I'm gonna turn the thing down just a little bit, and I gotta do this, so, and there we go. See if that works. Too far. Too far. Oop. 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 Nope. Nope. No. Bad computer. It'll bug me if it's not exactly right. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works now. I don't know why OBS Studio has done this for games like this, but I found that little bit trick out with after like an hour of trying it. Exit game. Take it down a notch. Like literally like a notch is what it has to go down. Boop. 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 Okay. I can't see it on here. Right now, all I see is the game. So I have to work on my computer to see if it's going to work. To see how it looks and everything for you all and make sure it looks okay. And that looks great. I'm going with the game. God, please make this work. How's the audio for my voice and the game sound? Let me know.
Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorial. Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray. I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci. Only the most famous police detective in the country. And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend? Natalie?
Nancy. Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right. I'll bet you're wondering where we're going. Well, we're going to Copper Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, His wife Camille died on it while they were going to the goldfields. It was rumored to be haunted.
Dang it.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Hey, what's going on?
I should have turned off my serial lights right when the
People
lights
should
went
never
off
go
in the game.
tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, brother.
It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
Get through
If I
talking.
don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Laurie Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
Note to self, don't bang on the table. Yeah. I had to exit out so I could make sure I knew what I was doing. Back to the game.
So you think her disappearing like that is just some kind of publicity stunt?
I just think she couldn't resist showing off in front of all of us minor celebrities. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew, you and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy! Come here.
Excuse me for a second. Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very comforting. I suspect normal people would have found it terrifying.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Did you talk to him?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you see what it was?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
So didn't they just break the rule? Because, you know, Joe said that he wanted to tell Tino that they do stuff for ATAC. And she just asked what it was, and they answered, isn't that against the rules? Or is it because she's a teen, she can know? Or is it like only teens can know?
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Do you think maybe one of Laurie's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Laurie disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later.
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the passengers, and I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
I just thought you might want to call the police or something.
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Miss Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Miss Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
But Lori may not even be on the train anymore.
Look, Miss Gerard may not be a rocket scientist or anything, but even she knows better than to jump off a moving train.
But...
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run.
Yeah, man, I'm tired. So how's everybody doing tonight?
A square and a duck.
I'm doing pretty good. My book's coming along, so that's good. Although, you know how I said yesterday, that
Sadie Crawford.
that I can wear my braces off next month. Well, they did something over here. And it did something different. Like, nothing drastic or anything, but it did something different. And now, it feels like this side is hitting this side. And it's not supposed to be like that, it's supposed to be even. And I feel like I'm hitting this side more, like every time I bite. And right now, like one specific tooth, like one of those back here, is like killing me. Especially right now, every time I eat. And like I had crunchy peanut butter. Crunchy peanut butter is not good when you have problems with your teeth. So I'm working on him and calling a dentist tomorrow. Yay! See, that goes in the middle. That goes there. What's the other corner piece? There it is. Okay. Ow. How cool it would have been if like I got it like right there. Oh, that's not gonna happen, but you know. That's right. That's right. That's not right. That's right. That's right. You got the corner pieces. The corner pieces would always get me. Just like these specific corner pieces, like the 4 corners, it always just gets me for some reason. If you don't notice the camera move at any point, like I should go down or something, like ever so slightly, let me know. Because I can't see it. Like I can't see the camera, but that isn't, you know, not necessarily gonna know if it's sliding or anything. I mean, I might need to rig something. Okay, it's there maybe? Nope. Okay, boom. Yes! Ha!
Left pickaxe and lamp with Buell for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key?
Is it senior mode that you're gonna be doing it? Congrats on finishing. When is that? Waveplay Academy. I actually want to replay a game. Like, I think it may be that because I like that game, especially the snack shop boss. I really like that. It's gonna be on senior mode though, correct?
Hello?
Hi, Bess.
George, get over here. It's Nancy. It's about time you called.
What's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us.
So we're not playing.
This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's been begging me to call you ever since she got here. Only because you've been driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Lori Gerard is wearing? Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Lori Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya?
Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair.
I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool.
Nice try, Bess.
No, really.
You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself.
George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Lori. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the time she was allegedly kidnapped from her Vegas hotel room?
Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape.
It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning.
Only it turns out she faked the whole thing.
Of course, she claims her ex-boyfriend faked it to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped.
Like anybody believes that.
Sounds to me like somebody has been spending a lot of time reading the tabloids.
George has.
Very funny. So what else is going on?
Talk to you soon.
Let us know what happens.
You know, that is like a ridiculously hard game. Good luck with that. Oh my gosh.
This must have been the sleeping car.
Jeez, that stinks. I'm not looking forward to the point that I get to that. You know, I'm not really looking forward to the time when I get to that game. No, it's gonna be a long way away.
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
Oh, yeah, I gotta call the doctor. The doctor or the dentist? Because this is not helpful. And I hate this. I'm having pain and stuff like this. My last month wearing these things. So I'm like, happy to just like go with it. Like, who cares? But you know, it's like, oh, I shouldn't because it could be messing with something with my teeth and everything. So.
Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
You're that Nancy person. Yeah. Thanks.
You look pretty busy.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Lori's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Lori's whereabouts.
The final puzzle at the end, I'd be, like, I'm dreading, like, when I get to that point, I'm dreading, the final puzzle, the Sudoku puzzles, the bento boxes that I'm probably gonna have to have my mom help me with. Even though there was that weird, one-time thing that I got it by myself, and I told someone, I said, can you come in here just for a second and help me out with this? And then she said, yeah, just give me a minute. And I started trying to do it for myself, and I got it. I'm like, yay! Because I've never, in the past 4 years that I played that game, I've never been able to do it. Ever.
Are you saying that Camille's ghost kidnapped Lori?
What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. And that's my working theory, at least.
That's very interesting.
It's all very scientific. But the fact is, Lori's missing, and I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
Charlena Purcell thinks Lori is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlena Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
What do you think of Tino Balducci?
I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
Is Lori a friend of yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Right, question. How many times have you all played this game before? This specific game? I can't give you an exact number, Just like a rough estimate, it would probably have to say 20 times.
Maybe she planned it that way.
You mean so we'd concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Come back anytime.
The Little Book of Samplers.
No. Turn the page. Play it once? Yeah, all these games are fun to play. Like, we keep playing, I'm actually thinking about me playing, oh gosh, what's it called? Runners at Waverly Academy. Or Bright Wolf vs. Creek. I want to play those games again.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
What the heck does that even mean? This sounds bad.
This looks like some sort of game.
Hey, game! A game that when I first played this, like a few times, I kept failing at it. Oh gosh, I just forgot about this puzzle I gotta do. This puzzle game I gotta do, oh my gosh. It's with Tino to get the pin. Oh gosh. I like it, it's fun, but after a while, if you don't get it, you just wanna chuck your computer out the window and just say forget it.
I did it! Wonder what's in here. Thomasina O'Neill.
What is that, anyway?
Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano.
Oh, man. I've been playing about half the game tonight, maybe a little bit less than half the game. I know what point I'm stopping at, I just don't know.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
Kind of watch, I kind of want to have like a Disney movie marathon.
I wonder what's under here, and what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to have like a Disney movie marathon. What are some of your all's favorite Disney movies? Like some of mine, one of my favorites would have to be Lion King, Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and Beauty and the Beast. And here's a little thing. I actually saw Beauty and the Beast the first time, cartoon one, mind you, 2 years ago. That's the first time I'd seen it. So, yeah. And then my first time watching Lion King, my brother got me to watch it, and he said, oh, wait. You know, he's like, you know, I don't know why you all like this movie, you know, I mean, it's kind of good, but he said, you'll be upset at one point, just keep watching. It got to that point, and it skips to some people here have not seen the movie. And I fought back tears, let's just say that. Oh my gosh, it was awful. I was like, why do you all like this movie?
Hey, Nancy, right?
That's right, Nancy Drew.
Amateur detective, huh? Ever thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
You mean become a police detective? No, I never have.
It's a great job, you know. I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Yes, I sure did.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers. All have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous.
Calm down, dude.
Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Where do you think it came from?
Probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure. In fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
So, what do you think happened to Lori?
Well, she could have been kidnapped. She could have been tossed off the train. She could be hiding from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
When do you think that will be?
I'll know the facts when I know the facts. The truth can't be rushed, you know.
I actually have not seen Aladdin. I've seen Mulan. I haven't seen Robin Hood either. I have seen Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, as I said, Lion King. I think that's it. Like, that is, like, I was like... Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know if you all know this, but there's this movie called The Little Mermaid. Don't know if you all have seen the movie, Chronicles of Narnia, but the guy who played Peter in it, stars in this movie. It's like a retelling, it's like a modern twist on the original story. And it is funny because I want to go see the movie, and I set a reminder a couple months ago about the movie coming out, what day, and stuff like that. I forgot about it. We're talking about Disney movies. Whoops. We're talking about Disney movies, and suddenly a thing pops on my computer saying, The Little Mermaid comes out. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
You don't like her?
I can't stand those sappy books she writes. And seeing as I said as much during an interview on national TV once, it's a pretty safe bet she doesn't like me.
Have you talked to John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I'd talk to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
It's been great talking to you.
Helping people's what I'm all about.
So I'm probably not going to be watching the new Chronicles of Narnia movie. The new one that they're making. I feel like this is coming down. But yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it. Because...
Wonder what Jake used this for.
They said, I saw it.
Looks like some kind of gemstone.
I saw it in a interview or something, like it was like a written interview. And they were making the movie, again, like they were making a new movie, but none of the original actors were coming back. None to play Lucy, Desmond, what's his name? Caspian. Yeah, nobody's coming back. So I'm like, no. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't. I love the first three. I love the three movies. My favorite one would have to be the second one. What's the title of it? Now it's above me.
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean?
Can't remember what the title of the second movie is. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What's the second one? Oh gosh! Caspian something? No? No, gosh, I can't remember it.
J.H. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
It's gonna bug me now.
Eliza Sandberger.
I have that DVD, it's right over there. Gosh, it's gonna bug me.
An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall. Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler. That square and that duck look very familiar.
It's gonna bug me no end. There's not something Caspian in the name. It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Then the third one is the Voyage of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon, those are all gemstones, I think. Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Now it's going to bug me. I'll figure it out before I'm done here, guys. Okay, can I have a train like this?
Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing. The question is, which 8 letters?
I like doing these kind of puzzles. Oh, hey. Hey. Dang it! That was close.
Lori?
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
So it was just all for show?
Well, not entirely. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
I think you were going to explain why you kidnapped yourself.
Oh, right. Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except, I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him, and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Maybe I did. Or maybe I just thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
How well do you know your guests?
Well, I don't know you or those Harvey guys at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
Whatever. I didn't know John Gray before this either, but I love his show, and I figured he'd jump at the chance to investigate an honest-to-goodness haunted train, and now that someone has finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those robberies. Inviting him here for this was a no-brainer. I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
I just know her from her books, which are so good. In fact, I just started reading her latest one, The Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, you know, just to see what she thought.
And?
She hated them.
I'll come back later.
Keep me posted.
Looks like a dance floor, maybe? Locked, naturally. Wonder how you open it.
Oh, whoops, gotta read the thing. You know I was reading something.
The 3rd of November, 1901, from somewhere in Colorado. Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mine before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands, but with the information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give the dolls an order. This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you. Words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado and pay your respects, and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her and heard her and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
Aww.
I wonder if this has something to do with that list of cities Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
I kind of like this process, I kind of don't. Hi. Why? Okay. that was my sister. But I don't know if she left here or not. No, no.
Guess I'm done. Strange. All that's left is a jumble of letters. I can use this to open that grate I saw in Camille's car.
Yeah, I think I have like a Disney movie marathon, but I don't know which ones I should watch. Out of everything that I've mentioned that I've seen, which one should I watch? I'll watch.
Hi, Beth.
Hey, what's going on?
I'll watch 3, maybe 4. No, not tonight though. It's 9:14 where I'm at, so not tonight.
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read, but to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
Hey, I know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint.
Probably because Bess has gotten more on me than she has on the walls.
Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone as soon as you can.
Actually, I already sent you a picture of the shoes.
Well then, hey, we're on it.
Ah, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
I better go.
We'll be right here.
Yeah, washing the paint out of our hair.
Toy Story? I haven't seen Toy Story in a while. I watched it at my oldest niece's first birthday because it was on. Didn't watch it like all the way on the side, bits and pieces. And what was the kid's name on it? The one that was creepy that stuck to the dolls. Guys, like I had nightmares when I was a kid because of that one kid on that movie. When I watched that scene just last month, I had like flashbacks of like, oh my gosh, like I was like terrified again.
That must be the projector Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
I can't remember kid's name. I can't pretty sure like Butch or something with the B. But I can't remember. B and I stopped. The bears. That's the bigger than the universe. There we go.
Jake's mine must be somewhere on this map, but where?
I can't believe they're making a Toy Story 4. The third one, like I almost actually like started crying because of the ending. I'm a crybaby when it comes to that kind of stuff. I almost started, no, I didn't almost start crying at Beauty and the Beast. Cried at Lion King.
Well, it's the little lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
She disappeared because she wanted to see who'd find her first, which is why she left that clue behind.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue. That's why I gave it to you. I mean, I could have found Lori no sweat, but I thought, hey, why not give somebody else a shot? And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake hurling his mind, let me know, okay? Just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day, you know.
Do you think I could take a closer look at that cougar statue?
What, that cigar clipper? Go ahead, take a look.
I'll bet I need this stone to build that thing in the diagram I found. But if I remove it now, Tina will know I'm onto something. Interesting. I just wanted to get a good look at it, that's all.
What else can I do for you?
You've been a big help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
I do not like him.
Wilson Carbide and Acetylene Works. Always your friend, Thomas Wilson. Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance step. Maybe I'd better keep this.
Yeah, I like these kind of puzzles.
There, all done.
There we go. I need to rig something behind my laptop so the camera can sit there, because right now it's just like, here's the screen and it's really thin, and then here's the camera and it doesn't have much of a grip on it, because my other thing, it was kind of thick, and so it would kind of, you know, push onto it, but now it's not thick at all, so gotta figure something out.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command, but hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chateauyan, C-H-A-U-S-S-E-T-T-E-S, C-H-A-T-O-Y-A-N-T-E-S. That's French for shimmering socks. Apparently, if you were into dancing in the 1870s, that was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chateauyan. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for letting us help.
Catch you later.
Okay. Well, George, back to work.
Darn, the name of the shoes is so faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe Bess and George can help me figure out who made them.
Okay, left, right. I did something wrong. There we go. rock type thing.
Guess Camille liked to collect dolls.
Not creepy. There we go. No, that go away. Okay, almost stopping for the night, guys. They're not. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I may have to finish the game on Sunday, and then play Denshi by Design on Monday and Tuesday. You know, because I have family game night this week. I should have it every week, but I don't know. We always flip it. Where it's gonna flip between Friday and Saturday nights. So I don't want to say, hey, we're gonna do it on Friday night, and then be told, hey, we have a family game night Friday night, you know. So then I have to cancel it. So.
With any luck, I just opened the stove in the dining car.
Yay! Let's go check it out. Not creepy.
What is that?
Hey, Nancy.
What's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
You found Lori.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose. And as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
Balducci wants me to share everything I find out about Jake Hurley with him.
I'll bet he does.
He just doesn't want you to show him up again.
Yeah, he wants you to do all the legwork so at the last minute, bam, he can swoop in and grab all the credit.
I wouldn't tell him a thing, Nance.
Unless it's to get lost.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew where that drop-off point was.
If the engineer had any surviving relatives, we may be in luck.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her. I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it, you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her!
Show her what?
That old picture we found!
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
Talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Yay.
James Thurston.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those two most wonderful of all three-letter words, the end, everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
And you won. Congratulations.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Voulet, who died about a year after they were married.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
Where did he meet Camille?
I don't know that. The circumstances surrounding her passing are a bit of a mystery, too. All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere. Although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated, and its location quite unknown.
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots. As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
In other words, you don't think he deserves all the attention he's getting?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives. Is that all, dear?
Did you know that Lori wants to be a romance novelist?
Doesn't everyone?
Do you think she could do it?
No. Could we please talk about something a little more pleasant?
I'll touch bases with you later.
All right, then.
I was going to stop at the doll thing, but, like, as soon as I got the doll thing, like, open and stuff, we did it. But, I'm close to getting the Copper Gorge, so I decided to just keep playing and get to Copper Gorge. What the heck? Someone just closed the door downstairs.
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you used to unscrew these bolts.
I hate this puzzle.
More
Yay.
pipes to connect. Here we go.
There we go. Now...
What's up?
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
Me? I'm not in any trouble.
Trust me. Either you or Lori is, or soon will be, in big trouble.
No offense, but I don't believe you.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I saw a bunch of weird glowing lights outside the window of the sleeping car.
Really? Actually, I'm not surprised.
You're not?
They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them. and the resulting voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the composition of the metals used in its construction. It was custom built, remember?
So it's a natural phenomenon, not a ghostly one?
Take it from me. Old Mother Nature is capable of some pretty scary stuff.
Well, I'll catch you later.
Pleasure talking to you.
Glad you dropped in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mine.
That's right. You can read it if you want.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional around here. Let me take a look.
I don't like him. Oh my gosh.
I've seen enough. 2 words. Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. 5-star nut job.
You don't think there's anything helpful in there?
Nada.
How did you and Lori meet?
We met at a party in New York. Nice girl. Not a lot upstairs, but nice girl.
Did you two go out?
Nope, no, never went out. No.
Nice. Nice, dude. Real smooth.
What do you think happened to Jake Hurley?
He probably died trying to work that mine of his all by himself. But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm onto something that could crack this case wide open.
You know where the mine is?
Sorry, can't go into detail. Let's just say that thanks to yours truly, what happened to Jake Hurley won't be a mystery much longer.
You've been a big help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
Whoa! Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
Do you think she could have thrown the brake and snuck back to her laptop without your seeing her?
Not likely, but possible, I guess.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Oh my gosh.
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those 2 friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
What do you think their motive was?
I don't know about your friends, but perhaps those other 2 simply thought it would be fun. Boys will be boys.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all this silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller. Although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
But why was his train found out in the middle of nowhere with just the dead engineer on board?
That does make the story a little more interesting. My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way. After which, the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
What do you think happened to Camille?
She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
That's not weird. As I have to go talk to everybody, I'm gonna go.
What's up?
Yeah.
So, are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
You're skeptical. That's cool. Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me.
Thanks for the chat.
Come back anytime.
That's funny.
What's going on?
Did you find any fingerprints on the emergency brake handle?
None that were any help, thanks to Casey Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
Did you do anything else besides look for fingerprints?
Of course. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon, or he's toast. And you can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky past that's prone to strange accidents, now can ya?
Who else have you told about this?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
You're going to arrest him?
Hey, the train could have derailed. We're talking reckless endangerment, attempted assault, maybe even attempted murder. John Gray wanted publicity. That's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
It's been great talking to you.
Not a problem.
We'll talk to you, John Gray.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
What have you got?
I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two...
You gotta like really strain your ears to listen to that.
Hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman. Camille. So be careful what you say in here. She's listening.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
That's not creepy.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints. And now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Have you been in this room the whole time you've been on the train?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Any truth to the rumor that your show's about to be canceled?
Newsflash. My show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
I'll let you get back to work.
Pleasure talking to you.
Let me go. I'm gonna walk over towards Lori, but I'm gonna talk to Tino again in a make sure. Like, get all the conversation out of the way with all the characters before I get to Copper Gorge.
What's going on?
Thanks for your help.
Okay.
Helping people's what I'm all about.
And then when I'm coming back to go talk to the Hardys, tell them the name of the engineer, I'll talk to everybody again to make sure that everything's good. Like, me talking to Lori's not gonna trigger something with Tino, and then Tino triggers something with John Gray, and stuff like that. It's gonna be sense.
Yes? I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
I'm a good detective, remember?
We went out a couple of times, yeah. As for why we stopped going out, you'd have to ask him.
Do you have any idea who threw the emergency brake?
I know exactly who did it.
You do?
Well, who else could it be? Camille. None of us has any reason to stop the train, but Camille? She doesn't want us to find Jake's mine, so she's going to do whatever she can to keep its location a secret.
She is dead, you know.
Well, duh. That's why I know it's her. What's more, your friend that Jim Harley guy?
Not Jim, Joe Hardy.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's Camille too. He just doesn't have the guts to say so.
We'll talk some more later.
Keep me posted.
That's funny. Okay. Talk to Tino again, and then talk to John, and talk to Shalina, and then talk to the Hardys. Then, if I'm doing all this correctly, we should be at Copper Gorge.
What's going on?
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
I'm a detective. You know how it is.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
Guess I'll just have to go talk to Lori again.
You are incredibly irritating, you know that? I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a joke, that no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously. So I stopped calling.
But you didn't stop caring.
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
That's bad.
What's up?
Thanks for the chat.
Goodbye.
More questions?
I should get going.
All right, then.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Oh, come on. You heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately, we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No.
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
And it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find us.
More questions?
What were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
Were you discussing her wanting to be a romance novelist?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
You stole one of her ideas?
She had no business sending me unsolicited material. But technically, yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Laurie in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
I'll touch bases with you later.
All right, then.
Is that a thing?
Hey, how's it going?
Tino found one of John Gray's thermometers by the emergency brake handle and is getting ready to throw the book at him.
John Gray threw the emergency brake? Why would he do that?
That was my first question, which makes me wonder if maybe Tino's the one who's up to something.
I still say there's less to all this than meets the eye, if you get my drift.
I get your drift, Joe. I have lived with your drift for years. I am saddled with your drift.
All right, all right.
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer, James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Well, nothing.
Good.
Good?
Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
Talk to you later.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Shouldn't have already went? I'm gonna talk to Rory.
Before you say anything, I just want to say thank you.
For what?
Tino came to see me. He said you'd made him realize what a jerk he'd been for dumping me, and then he asked me out.
Aw.
Isn't that great? He said he doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He thinks we make the perfect couple.
Aw.
Well, I can't argue with him there.
So what do you want?
Guess I better get to work.
You go, girl.
Thought I had talked to her about the thing that her and Charlene Perceau were talking about. Thought I saw something there. Tino.
I can't stay mad at a fellow detective. What do you need?
Hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Anything for a fellow detective.
If I'm correct, the Hardys will say something like about James Thurston, so.
What's up?
Well, I'll catch you later.
Take care.
So let's hope they do.
More questions?
I should get going.
That would be nice.
Hey, how's it going?
Were you able to find anything out about Jake's engineer, that James Thurston guy?
Good news and bad news. The good news is he had a wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad news is our internet service provider stopped providing before we could use our cell phones to find out anything else.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
Right.
Yes. Just save it as train. That's weird. It has the. Here, I'm gonna go before you go. That's weird. It has the chat feed right here. Continue our welcome stream, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Finally, everything works. I know. I mean, me thinking it and me saying it are two totally different things. But I thought at the beginning of this game, I'm like, oh my gosh, my computer's not messing up like it was. You know, and I know I probably just jinxed it right there, so hope it doesn't mess up like the other computer was. Like, the game would actually, like, freeze, and then it would, like, keep saying stuff over and over again, or, like, the music would keep going back and forth and stuff like that. It was a mess. Anyway, guys, this video will be up on my YouTube soon. Thank you all for watching. I'll be finishing this game, Nezuju, The Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you all can come back and watch me finish the game. So, I got a question. Do you all like being able to see the chat feed in the stream itself? Like, here, I had to get it right. Like, you know, like here, and, you know, when it has the game shown, it's like right down here or something like that. Just let me know. And, if you're all watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, the links to all my social media are down below for you all. I am on Twitch, obviously, YouTube, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I post on there every single time before I start streaming. Sometimes I take pictures right before I stream, or as the slideshow's going. So, like I did today, if you all went on my social media, you'd see it. But yeah. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed my stream. Hope to see you all Sunday. Date. What's the date? It's better go look at my phone to see what the date is for. Okay, the 19th. Yeah, 19th. Yeah, I'll be finishing this game, Nezuju, The Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, this Sunday, the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you all will be able to stop by and watch me finish the game. Hope you all have a good night. I'm going to turn a slideshow for about a minute or so. Anyway, hope you have a good night. Bye, everybody.